Up next on Utah Business Matters, Cyndie Kirk accepts a challenge. She's got 3 Domino's franchises now. From storage containers to your next home, we'll tell you that story. And Mansour Imam and the gift of healthcare to those who simply can't afford it. And it all comes your way next right here on Utah Business Matters. And welcome to this week's edition of Utah Business Matters, your weekly television window to small business here in the state of Utah. We come to you this week from Tooele and Domino's. You should never challenge Cyndie Kirk to open 1 store because she'll not only do that, but she might throw 2 more stores on top of it. What a great story of women in business and entrepreneurism.
You know, I really didn't know what I was going to do or what type of business I was going to open. I just knew that I wanted to have my own business.
Welcome to Domino's Pizza. What can I hand make for you today?
I actually started as a delivery driver as a senior in high school. You know, I was a driver and then I became an assistant manager. I like the fast pace. I like the fact that I can change my schedule. I can alter my schedule. I don't work the same days every week. I have a lot of customers that I see on a regular basis, and it's kind of fun to get to know them. Well, one of the last stores I managed was in Magna, and I had a lot of people from Tooele that would stop and get a pizza on their way home, and I thought it was the craziest thing. So I went to the franchisee that owned the stores, and she said, quite frankly, it's too far for me, but if you want to do it, I'll help you do it. So I'm talking to some other store managers, and a couple of them dared me. And it was a dare. So I took them up on it, and I said, well, I bet I can do it easier than you can because I'm female. To be a Domino's Pizza franchisee, you have to managed or supervised a store for a minimum of a year before you can even apply. There's an upfront franchise fee, and we're required to take a franchise development class. It covers construction, insurance, marketing, the whole gamut of what we deal with. And then on the last Saturday morning, you take a 4-hour test.
She's been at this a long time, so she likes to beat us at everything.
Mark, set, go.
And we've now been here in June, it'll be 15 years that I've been a franchisee, and I can't go anywhere in this town that somebody doesn't know who I am. The corporation has really pushed us to open multiple stores. They actually have, I think it's called a Hawkeye report, for different areas that they feel are ready for a store. Grantsville is not on that list, but they had just introduced a new type of store, and they call it a transitional store. And those stores do not deliver. They're for carry-out only. When our development guy came out and kind of did our maps and was looking at the area to really see the potential, there was not even a traffic signal in Grantsville. And as I was driving him around town, he commented and he said, wow. I said, what? And he says, the horses are in the front yard. I said, well, where else do you keep them? We opened here in June of 1998, and we opened 9 years later in Grantsville. Between my husband and I, we have 7 children, and they're very close in ages. In fact, we've had 5 in high school for the last 4 or 5 years. And it was nice being the business owner to say, hey, if I hire this extra person, I know it's going to cost me a little bit, but in the meantime, I'm going to have some flexibility so I can leave. Being a business owner, there's a lot of things that we're called upon to do. And it could be something as simple as stuffing 500 Easter eggs for the Easter egg hunt. Or it's the fact that we have to build a float. Everybody calls me the pizza lady, and I answer to it. And my kids are known as the pizza kids. It really is a big deal to me that we give back. Our goal as a company is to donate a week's worth of our sales at our cost every year. And that could be the fact that we donated gift certificates for a raffle or an auction. And it could be the fact that I'm sponsoring one of their teams as a business, or it could be the fact that the entire band needs dinner because they've got a competition later that day. My initial goal was to open 4 stores. We have the one in Tooele, we have one in Grantsville. The corporation came and asked me to reopen a store that had been closed in Cedar City. So I currently have the 3. I didn't quite meet my goal, but my stores do well, and we're well known in our community. I never had a goal that I was going to make this much money. My goals were to support my family, that I had to be able to support the community that I lived in or that I had stores in. And so that's why we've set that goal of a minimum of a week's worth of sales a year. And then the 3rd goal was that eventually I wanted to be able to retire. And if that meant that I sold my stores to one of my kids or a couple of my kids or just completely to somebody else, then that was fine. You know, when you own a restaurant, there's a lot of hours involved. We don't work 9 to 5. We're closed 2 days a year. We literally get here at 8:30 in the morning, and we don't close until midnight on our latest nights. I think it was really important for my kids to know that even though I own a business and even though I'm a working mom, I still did everything in my power to get to all of their activities and to make sure that they understood that that was the priority. Our oldest son died 2 years ago, and the overwhelming response from people was unreal. There were lots of people that just wanted to do anything they could, and it was all because, you know, I'd like to think it's because of what they've seen us do as a family to support those things that go on here in town.
Thanks, Cyndie, and that pepperoni pizza. I promise I ate none of it on the way home. When we come back, from a container to your next possible home. A fascinating story when we return.